Hi everyone, welcome to another I've Been Playing. This week, or not even this week, but this past 3 days, because this just came out on Friday, I have been playing the update to Ghost of Tsushima, which is Ghost of Tsushima Legends. This update did a couple of things. One, it did a New Game Plus mode, which I'm not doing because I haven't even finished it the first time around, unfortunately. I'm very, very close, but I haven't quite finished the game yet. But the most important thing it probably added was the multiplayer stuff, the online modes. So the reason this is called Legends is because there is a story in this, even though it is technically a multiplayer. You can play on your own, but it's technically a multiplayer. The story section is for 2 people. There's another section that's for 4 people, and I'll talk about that later. But the main reason it's called Legends is because you have this whole story arc that I don't think are really connected, but they are different legends that you would kind of go through to level up your character, and they each have, the special enemies with special abilities or special kind of ways they function and stuff like that. So you're acting as the ghosts of legend, and you are trying to work through this story mode. That's kind of what the basis, the premise of this, but not even expansion, this update, that's what it's called, is. But I want to back up a little bit and go into detail about, maybe some specifics. The first thing you do after you go through the little tutorial bit is you have to pick a class to start as. There are 4 different classes. You have Samurai, which is, pretty self-explanatory really. It's all sword-based and tank-based. To an extent, you just go in there and wail on enemies with your sword. That's the idea of the samurai class. Then you have the hunter class, which is the kind of the archer, a little sneakier. They have they're very reliant on their bows in theory, and I'll explain why I say in theory in a little bit. They're the ones that are supposed to go up on high and provide overwatch, essentially, over what's happening on the battlefield. Third one is Assassin, which again is pretty self-explanatory. The sneaky one, the one who backstabs everybody, sneaks up behind. The stealth, the rogue, basically is the Assassin, and that's that kind of idea. That's the idea behind that class. And the 4th class is Ronin, which is I don't know what to compare it to, if I'm honest, but the most important thing I think with the Ronin is that they can summon spectral dogs to help them. So each of the classes have these different specific special abilities. The one for the Ronin is you can have a spectral dog, I think is the special ability. I've been playing the Hunter, so my special ability is I started out with an arrow that stuns people if I aim it at a certain place, and I also have this thing where once I have enough resolve, which is the little yellow dots, if you'll remember from the main game. Once I have enough resolve, I can shoot 3 people at once with my bow, which is pretty awesome. With my arrows, even. The bow just helps. The Assassin, if I remember correctly, the special ability with them is that they can activate their thing and they can go invisible. I'm pretty sure that's the Assassin, and then they can kind of cut through 3 enemies at once. Unless that's a Samurai. I haven't played as either of those yet, so I don't really remember. It has you play through all 4 in the little tutorial section, so you can kind of see how they're different and pick which one you want. Specifically, mostly based on abilities, because again, as I said, we'll get into that in a second, but I don't remember I know one of them is you can go invisible, and I know one of them is slice up 3 enemies at once without them seeing you, so I feel like that's the same class, but different levels of special ability, but I don't remember. Remind me, because I don't remember. So these are the 4 different characters you can choose from, and you can level up. You can unlock all of them at once. You just have to level up in, get to a certain level in each one. So I just unlocked, as I said, I was playing Hunter. I just got to the point where I can unlock a 2nd class, and I think I unlocked Ronin, I don't remember. But you have to acquire more levels to unlock all 4, and then you'll be able to switch between classes as you want. Now, the reason I said that in theory these are all different, it became apparent very quickly upon starting the story missions that all of the classes can do whatever they want. It's not like you're limited to the bow, you're limited to the sword, you're limited to abilities or sneaking or whatever. You can do basically whatever you want with any class. It's obviously going to be easier with certain classes, and the special abilities will help better in certain situations, but I didn't realize, I thought it was going to be strictly, the samurai can do this, the hunter can do this, the assassin can do this, no one else can, you can't cross the streams, and that is so not the case. It does make it kind of nice, because you're not stuck on relying on just those things, but it also makes it feel like the class differences aren't that major. Not really. Unless there's more, as I've said, I've played mostly as a hunter. I don't know what the differences are. I haven't played the other one yet because I'm just trying to level up the hunter to level 20, I think is the max. And then I'll switch. But it doesn't seem like there's any point except the special abilities. The special abilities are the thing you really want to pick your class on because the rest of it doesn't seem to matter. Now, that may be something they're going to work on in the future. I doubt it, but it did just come out on Friday. There was one really annoying thing every time I played it. It kept coming up with a message about like the server not being live or connected or whatever in the middle of playing online like every 10 minutes or so, and they're aware that's an issue, so I'm assuming they will fix that or have already fixed that, but and it just released, so there are going to be some little bugs and adjustments, I'm sure. In addition to the 2-player story missions, and as I said, you can play them solo if you want, there is a survival mode as well, which is for 4 players, which you can also play on your own, although I definitely don't recommend doing that. The story missions, you're probably going to be fine. The survival one, it's a wave-based thing, but there's also 3 specific like territories you want to take over and defend. It's one of those types of things, so it would be, I imagine it would be very difficult with only one person. It definitely was going a lot better when I had 4 people, because there was one time it expected me to do it on my own because I couldn't get anyone, like it wouldn't connect me with any other players for a long time, and I was like, I'm not doing this, there's no way I'm going to get through 15 waves of bad guys on my own when I hardly know what's happening because I just started playing. So I definitely recommend. The survival was fun once I got used to it. The update in general was really fun once I got used to it. It started out a little rough because I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. I kept dying a lot. The controls are different enough from the main game that I was having difficulty with them. But eventually, after I played for a little while, they got a lot easier. I figured out what was happening, I figured out what I was doing, and it was a lot more fun. But yeah, survival, whatever, wave-based, whatever you want to call it, is definitely 4-player for a reason, and it's a lot of fun. And there was this one, I've won all 15 rounds a few times at this point. There was one, we were so close, we were on wave 15, we were doing really well. I just managed to, you can buy special things, special upgrades, and I managed to just restore the health of all the other players in the round, and I was like, or the ones who were alive. I think 2 of them were downed, but I bought a thing where you can regen your health, so I did that, and then the person got them up, and it was still regenning, and then we all just got wiped out, and we were so close to finishing. It was very, very stressful, but it was a lot of fun, and we got a lot farther that session, I guess, than I thought we were going to, because it started out, you have healing drums, which is how you get healing, obviously, and we had 3 hit before we got to the proper wave base, because you have to take over the areas from the enemies first, and then the waves start and you have to defend them from the enemies. And we already had used 2 or 3 of our healing drums before the waves started, and they don't come back. They're just, once you use them, they're gone. So I was not very optimistic about that round when we started out, but we managed to almost make it, and I was so disappointed that we got killed basically last second. Well, that's really all I have about Ghost of Tsushima Legends. Have you been playing this mode? What do you think of it? Are you enjoying it? What class are you playing? Do you not like it? Tell me why and what you think in the comments, and I hope you will join me next Monday for another game. Bye!